Onto the Jordan.
Welcome back to the Blood Brothers podcast. I'm Enoch Maurice.
I'm James Alchemy Jr.
And y'all know, if you've been watching, y'all know how we start this thing off.
I'll let him, bro.
Our Father in heaven, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this opportunity. We ask you to use us in this moment right now. Let this subject and the words we use really move somebody today. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Talk to me, my brother.
We already know our mission will always be consistent, and that is to empower men to be leaders in society under God's law. Consequently, women, children, and other men will learn the standards of what a real man is supposed to be. Memorize it too. What you know about it, boy?
We moving up. Hey, we trying to give you a high quality. Like, as you can see, got a mic now. His is on the way.
Mine's on the way, man. Mine's on the way.
We trying to because we have content. We trying to give y'all quality. We understand how important that is. And we got a new series that we starting today called Men-TALITY.
Men-TALITY.
Men-TALITY. Now,
like that.
I'm usually the good cop and he's the bad cop. But for this subject, I think we both going to be throwing some punches because this is very important.
This is.
And I'm not going to sugarcoat. I'm not going to play around with it because at the end of the day, when we speak on certain things like this, I want y'all to know, like, we're not just doing this for fun. Y'all are reaping the benefits of the fact that we have children. Our children's going to see this one day. Yep. So we have to make sure, if God forbid we're not here, they can still be taught by what we're saying.
That is very
true.
We're
not out here trying to just say something to get some clout, to just get some views. Like, this really means something to us. We take it serious. So now about the mentality, let's break it down for them, what mentality really is.
So mentality is, in retrospect, we're going to deal with it from three different perspectives. So you'll have the cultural, so how the culture affects the mind. We'll have the relationships that are important, that you feel are important in your life. That, and then the last one would be the laws that we live by. So we did it in that order specifically because the laws are actually the foundation that drive your thought process on a consistent basis. Like, what do you believe morally is the right thing to do? And dealing with the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. So I did a little research for you guys because I'm just weird like that. And that's what I like to do. So when we're talking about mentality, I looked up the Greek context. Now, I'll give you guys a little briefing. Greek definitions don't always make sense because they're descriptions. So, for example, if I'm describing Enoch, I would say braids, white shirt, GB, right? But I will be talking about Enoch. So when I'm saying certain things, that when I say the Greek context, that's why it's going to come off the way it is. So when they say mentality,
you're talking scholar work right now. Go ahead.
I'm trying, you know. But when they speak on mentality specifically, they speaking on the heart. Now, a lot of people go, yeah, I speak, you don't talk from my heart, or I feel it in my heart. Realistically, the word in Greek, it means mind, right? In Hebrew, it goes into the thought of the mind. So the description is actually, my heart is really my mind. So when people say, you know, I'm speaking from my heart, what they're really saying is the thought that's in my mind is what I feel. And that's why I'm saying it. It's just a description of it. Like I said, when I would say Enoch, if I was describing, I would say GB shirt, right? Yeah. That's describing Enoch. It's the exact same thing when we're speaking on mind. Sometimes we'll say from our heart, but remember, keep it in context. It's always meaning the mind, what we're thinking in our mind, the mentality, and how we're driven by law, culture, and relationships. So I think it's very important that before we even get into the mentality, realize the play that we're using, obviously mentality. Just keep in mind, the principles that we're going to be addressing, they're for men and women. Yeah. We can't talk from a female's perspective, obviously. Exactly. So we're going to be speaking from a man's perspective. But although it's a man's perspective, just keep in mind, principles are concrete. They apply across the board. So if we say you're supposed to be loyal, yes, we're talking about men being loyal, but we also are talking about women. So women can take from what we're teaching too and apply it to their lives and also give it to their children as well. So that's the avenue we're taking. How would you like to get into this? Well, what topic you want to talk about today? You tell me. We obviously talking about mentality. So what you feeling?
So I would say, culturally speaking, the mentality on relationships, dating mainly, and the aspect of men cheating.
Okay, perfect. So
and
go. I like that.
Why men cheat. So I would say, if I was to just start off and get the ball rolling, men cheat. Here's the first thing: ignorance.
Ignorance, okay.
Now, including me, growing up, when you hear you're ignorant, you almost take that as an insult, like you stupid.
Yeah.
But ignorance means you just don't know.
Lack of knowledge. I dig
it.
Yeah.
So when you say that, like when I say that, I'm not taking a shot at anybody, because that's how I used to think when I was younger. Like, I mean, I'm ignorant. Like, ignorant means you just don't know.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a lot of things that play a part, but one reason I feel like men cheat because they don't know better.
Okay.
And when I say don't know better, they don't realize the effects of it. You know, like by cheating, oh, it's just me and her, but you don't realize what cheating on her can affect her, that can affect somebody else.
Okay.
Also, cheating affects your own mentality because it's like, I can get away with certain things. So that's why you always say, if a man could cheat on his wife, it's hard for me to trust him. Because if you can do that, there's no real telling what you can do to me, because that's your wife. And your mentality is already set on cheating is okay. So if your mentality is set that cheating is okay, then little things here like, oh, I could skimp on this. I can, that's all right. So that's why we really take serious on your mentality when it comes to cheating, because it's not just, dudes be like, yo, man, I'm just, like, you can't just expect me to stay with one girl. I got to find the right one. It's deeper than that, because that affects all areas in your life. And that's how I see about mentality when it comes to cheating.
I like that. And you touched on it, but you didn't say it specifically. But what we're talking about is character, right? So a man, I always use this. It's weird to see men loyal to their friends, but not loyal to their women. That's weird to me. Like, if I'm going to be a loyal person, I'm just going to be a loyal person. So if you're my girl, I'm going to be loyal to you. If you're my man, we really rock like that, I'm going to be loyal to you. It doesn't, that's one thing that's why I use law last specifically, because that's one of the principles of a mentality, your character, having that foundation to understand how your mentality affects each situation, but it's a consistent thought, if that makes sense. So if I'm saying, all right, we're gonna go into business together. We have big business ventures that we're about to get into, right? And I'm gonna say, I trust you, right? I'm 100% trust you. But if you see me going to violate my wife, going out there still messing with these girls, doing all of these things that make you question my character, now you say, I don't know if I can trust you. But it's not that you can't trust me specifically, physically. You just can't trust my mentality. You can't trust my character. So when I look at that, I always consider how the way you think and the way you act have to be one. It cannot, you can't be double-minded. You have to be holy in your thoughts. So a lot of people look at holy and they think of God, and it's like this big spiritual thing, and it's like, it's not necessarily not true. I don't want to say it's not true, but in the essence of the word, in the context, holy just means being one with your thought. That's all it is. So when God speaks, he's one with his thought. That's why you trust him. If I'm your brother and I say, hey, what's up, bro? Listen, this is what I want to do. This is how we're going to go about it. You know my thoughts, but now you want to see my actions. Are your actions one with your thought? So it's deeper when a man cheats on this woman because not only are you not being one with your thought, you're practicing bad principles. You're practicing lying. You're practicing stealing, because what you're doing, you're stealing time from somebody else to give to somebody else, right?
Yeah.
You're practicing, what else? Just immoral patterns.
Bad habits.
Bad habits of, being sneaky.
Yeah.
That whole living that double life.
Getting away with this and that. Yeah.
And that type of mentality where you're feeling like you're getting over, right? And a real man, you don't want to get over. You want to be true to your word and be who you are. So when you speak, it has power behind it. A lot of guys, and I'm talking about, don't have nothing to do with age, man. I've seen guys from 20 to 50 with the same stupid mentality of I just want to see if I still got it. Still got what? I'm confused. Still got what? What are you trying to see if you still got? Right? And another thing that really bothers me about the cheating aspect is it's a very prideful act.
Yeah.
Like there's so much, they put so much glory behind it. Like, I got her, right?
Yeah.
And it's like this. Pride is before your fall. Leave that.
Talk about it.
Pride is before your fall. It's just the truth. So if you're going to have pride, right? I'm not negating pride. I'm not negating certain emotions or mind frames, because there's nothing wrong with anything. I truly believe that every emotion was made, even anger was made for a reason. But there's a context that it is presented in. And you have to be mindful of the context so that way you can understand why I am prideful. So, for example, I take pride in building a legacy for my kids. Yeah. Right? You're supposed to take pride in that. Yeah. Right? Or I take pride in being a good friend to you. I'm supposed to have pride in that. Yeah. Or even a better one. I take pride in being a good husband. That's that's my badge of honor. And it has nothing to do with an ego-driven mentality, meaning selfishness. It's an ego, it's my ego, but my ego's in check and it's aligned with the right principles to keep it in order.
I think the difference is between having pride in something is being prideful. It's like you're just full of pride. Like, for an example, if I'm prideful within a relationship, she can't tell me nothing. Exactly. She can't tell me nothing that I'm just gonna be like, yeah, right, I'm gonna do what I want to do. Because you're prideful. So now, let's say, for example, within a marriage, because we like speaking in marriages, because dating, things get questionable. Within a marriage, your wife she's not feeling you right now. Y'all not having sex. So you're prideful. So it's like, word, she's my wife. She's supposed to give me some. So you know what? I'm going to go do me, because I got pride in my manhood. I'm prideful in my manhood that I got to go get mine. Just like you said, having that kind of pride is selfish. So now that pridefulness affects your mentality. And now your mentality becomes, oh, I'm a man. This is my family. This is my house. She thinks she could do what she want to do and not give me none. I'm going to go out there and handle my business because I'm a man. So now you're putting manhood on this pedestal over your family. So now you really can be pulled left and right. Now you really have no direction. And that's why it's so important to keep your mentality straight, because once your mentality starts wavering, that touches everything. Integrity. What was the last podcast we was talking about when we talked about it was integrity, it was responsibility, and what was the other word?
Forgot the word we
Integrity,
used.
responsibility, and
I remember. Check the video. Go watch the video.
Facts, go back.
And you can find out.
We got too much content.
Thank you.
The fact that you can jump to that makes you realize, you know what? Your mentality is chopped.
Terrible.
So once you go there, it's over.
So, got it for you. So the question would be, how do you align your mentality to be successful, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna ask you first. You tell me.
Okay.
What would be the first process for you?
Aligning. That's a good one. So I would say consistency.
Okay, I like
Being
it.
consistent.
Hold on, before you go.
Uh-huh.
Consistency in what though, specifically? Because we got to get to it.
Okay. Practically. Okay. Consistency in. Okay. So if you're working on your mentality, you should be working on yourself.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
every day, looking at yourself, what am I? Stop putting blame on other people. You should be looking at yourself. Okay, what did I do wrong in this situation? Taking accountability. Like, okay, I'm in this situation. What did I do wrong? Because if you're not constantly checking yourself, there's no way for you to grow mentally. Because if it's always somebody else's fault, it's always they did this, then you're never gonna have that mentality to grow because you're always looking at somebody else and never looking within. The minute you start looking within and on a constant basis, you'll look at situations. I'll give you an example right now. I went last week. I went to go. My wife ordered pizza. I went to go pick up the pizza. Now, normally, on the regular, she orders in her name, and I just go there and I say her name. But for some reason, when I went this time to go pick up the pizza, I told them like, yeah, I'm here to pick up order for Kayla. It's like, okay, hold on. 20 minutes go by, nothing. Then another person comes like, are you being helped? I'm like, yeah, I'm waiting for the order for Kayla. They came back. No, they left. Another 15 minutes go by. I'm like, why is it taking so long? On the app, it said it was ready. So I called my wife. I'm like, yo, babe, what name is the order in? She's like, it's in your name. I'm like, why? She's like, because I don't know. I figured I just put in your name because you was picking it up. All this quarantine, this different process. And I'm just like, yo, it's always your name. Whatever. And I got a little upset. I got a little aggravated. Being transparent here. So I get the pizza. I'm driving home. On my way home, I'm thinking to myself, I'm talking to myself. I'm like, I'm a little aggravated right now. But why? Why am I aggravated? And then I looked at it like, you know what? How I'm be mad at something? I should have checked. I should have asked her. Like, yo, babe, before I left the house, I should have been like, yo, is it your name or my name? Because when I got home, she said, you was a little aggravated on the phone. You okay? I'm like, yeah, I was. I'm like, but at the end of the day, it's not your fault. I should have asked you, like, was it in my name or your name? And it was that simple. Because I could have came, I saw myself going home and being frustrated, ruining the night. It was pizza night, about to watch movies. I could have easily just ruined that, like, yo, you always order in your name. Since we've met, why would you put it in my name? But I just checked myself like, you know what? Ruin the night for what? I literally thought like, babe, I was like, nah, yeah, I was tripping, but you normally order in your name, but I should have just asked. At the end of the day, it was still me going out there to get it. And once you do that constantly, it becomes a habit to where you're never just in an outburst, in a rage to when certain things happen, because you can check yourself and before the situation, be like, okay, like this is one of my favorite statements. Well, it's in the Bible. A soft answer turns away wrath.
Like that. Love that, actually. I like that.
I use that all the time. Like, if somebody's spazzing right now, me spazzing back, what is that going to do? That's just going to escalate it.
Facts.
Keep calm. Like I said before, high emotions lead to low reasoning.
I like that. I like that a lot. So I just want to do a little sidebar to what you said, right? Since we are on the topic of men cheating and mentality, there's something that really pisses me off about men when you cheat, right?
Let's go there.
Okay. So when it comes to cheating, it's a mentality of cheating, right? And I'm going to tell you why. The thought of cheating is actually what causes the action. So the minute you thought about it in your head mentally, technically you already did it, right? Because you're lusting in your own mind.
Yeah.
Right? That's one.
Yeah.
If you don't check yourself about your thoughts, especially about other women, when you're in a relationship or marriage, we'll say marriage, because people like, they got this concept, oh, I'm not married. So fine.
Yeah.
When you're in a marriage, even though you are supposed to practice good habits, I would say do it with your girlfriends too.
Yeah.
But that's another conversation. If you're unable to check your thoughts before you act, you will eventually cheat because in your mind, you're lusting after the woman, right? Now, let's say you don't cheat, but your wife has to, or your girlfriend, they question you about something that is their intuition, right?
Yeah.
For you not to own up to that and take accountability for that, you might as well have just had sex with the woman. Even if you didn't, because let me tell you, the minute she has to question your character, right? The process of her getting to that moment was, let's be honest, women are investigators. So
yeah, they know.
So even if you, let's say, because I think one thing too that we have to address is what is considered cheating. So people automatically say sex. That's not necessarily true.
Yeah, it's deeper than that.
Attention, conversations on the phone.
Yep.
I call cheating anything that you
cannot
do and you can't tell your wife.
Yep. Period.
That's cheating.
Period.
That's it. I'll give you one. So Mother's Day, right? I surprised Marielle with a present. Bro, I'm sneak texting my friend. Like Trisha did my work. Shouts out to her. She killed it. She did
facts,
she does quality work.
She does her thing.
And I had to like sneak text her and all of these weird things.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh man. And like I called her like, yo, I feel mad weird. Like, and I wasn't even cheating. I was setting up a gift for my wife.
Exactly.
But because it's so foreign to me, I felt uncomfortable even sneaking that. Right? Because I'm gonna be honest, my wife, my friend, I have female friends. My wife has access to my female friends. And their friends, like if my friends was to hit her up, they would talk or they'll talk, whatever it is. And that's just how I operate.
Yeah.
So I hate it when a man gets questioned and he gets defensive. If you wasn't doing nothing funny, she wouldn't have questioned you. You could say, oh, it's her insecurities, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, if she's insecure as the husband, it's your job to make her feel secure about everything. Not about some things, about everything. So if she brings it to you where it's like, hey, listen, I don't like this girl. She's not even saying that you doing anything. She might be insinuating it, but she's not saying it.
Yeah.
But the fact that you go into defense mode, it just shows your lack of self-awareness and your lack of integrity. Because first of all, if my wife was to ever have that problem with me, I automatically am looking at myself like, yo, how am I conducting myself? Am I bugging? Like,
exactly.
Dudes always are so quick to go, oh, she's insecure, or she didn't do this, or she didn't do that. And it's like, listen, okay, fine. I'm not saying she's not insecure.
Yeah.
But are you doing everything in your power to make sure that those insecurities that live inside of her are secure now? Period. And that's just a side note for the cheating. You know, just because that's one of the things that really, it irks my nerves. And I don't have no friends. Like my friends know. I don't even have friends that do that. If your wife got to question you about cheating, we're not friends no more. Period. I don't care. That's a dead issue. Because at the end of the day, especially if you're not taking accountability for a situation, meaning like, I might have been moving a little funny, but I didn't mean it. Like, if my wife would have questioned me about, yo, why was you on the phone, or why was you DMing Trisha, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I would have just owned up. Like, all right, babe, listen, hey, look, I was trying to get you a present, blah, blah. And because the friendship is genuine, I would have a friend to vouch for it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But when you automatically go into defense mode, what you're doing is you're proving your guilt. Because you're even if you didn't have sex with her, you're still guilty. You feel guilty. Because why should she have to bring that to you? But listen, at the end of the day, everybody has their own principles and laws, which is what I'm about to get into next. So when we were talking about as far as mentality, I'm so big on laws and how laws just it protects you. Right? So if I know the laws of being consistent, right? And I practice them constant, like you said, just on a consistent base to the point it becomes second nature to me. Now my mentality it becomes discipline. And that discipline is what's gonna save you.
Exactly.
Right? So when I look at it, I'm like, yo, I mourn for people who allow rap culture, drug culture, gang culture, right? I mourn even the stripping culture, you know what I mean? That type of mentality. Yeah. I mourn for them for their ignorance. I do. I genuinely, it's annoying to me, but more than it being annoying, I feel for them because culture is such a influential process. Yeah. And it could really hinder you if you're living in the wrong culture. You know, I know you were speaking about how you had to give up, the trap music. But what did you feel like the trap music was doing to your mentality?
I'm gonna be honest. It wasn't feeding me anything good. So if you're working on your mentality and you're trying to move forward in life, everything you feed yourself will come out. So if I'm not feeding something that's not good, that's not giving me any substance, because I was at the point where I needed some substance. That's one thing that you have to focus on your mentality. I need substance for this to grow. So if I'm just listening to trap all day, what is that really doing for me? Especially if I have a kid and he's listening to that. What mentality am I giving him? That, oh, it's about strip clubs and trapping out here in these streets and getting money. What does that really do for me? So if I have a family and I'm trying to go in a certain direction, the type of music that I put in has to reflect my life and the direction that I'm trying to go. So if trap music is not reflecting where I'm trying to go, I should not be indulging in it. For me, and I got to a place where now, if I go to, I'm not saying I'm over OD, oh no, trap music, no. If we go to a wedding or a party, birthday party, if it's on, all right, cool. I mean, we lit. But I'm not so indulged in it to where my mind is stuck in it, to where, if I go, it's not oh my gosh, I just relapsed. Because I've fed myself so much with so much substance that if I hear that, oh, it's cool, let's turn up, it's a celebration. You know what I mean? So, but if I indulge in it to where it becomes me, my language is different. If y'all haven't noticed, we don't cuss on this podcast. Why is that? Purposely, because we've practiced not using that type of language. At a certain point, when we talking and we get into it, if we normally cursed, it would come out. You can see how we can be passionate about certain things, and we won't drop no F-bombs, stuff like that, because that's not in our everyday. I'll be real. We say the N-word from time to time. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna say it, act like we don't say nothing. That's literally probably the only word we say, but I don't really look at it as a curse.
I don't think it's a curse.
I don't think so. But I'm still not gonna say it on here because like I said, consistency. We know how to not use that word. That's what I'm saying. It's important because if we're feeding ourselves certain things, if we automatically all day listen to trap, all they do is cuss. So we would start cussing. And outside of the podcast, we don't cuss. So that's why I tell you, it's habits. There's certain people that don't know how to have a conversation without using foul language.
Oh my goodness.
Seriously, it's because your mentality. You can't, there's so many other words you can use. And it's not because you cuss you're a bad person. No, I'm not saying that. But if that's the only thing that you can use, maybe you need to work on a different direction to be able to speak without having to use cuss words and have a real eloquent conversation without having to curse. It's not, you don't need to, you know what I'm saying?
It's a thought process.
Yeah.
And it's even more scary. Hold on. It's a thought process, but it's even more scary when you do it without knowing. If I say, yo, you just cursed, you'd be like, yo, I didn't know. Yeah, I did. You'd be like, you didn't think before you spoke?
Exactly.
You didn't think
mentality.
Your mentality. I got one for you. This is the best one too. I really like this one. Relationships. Right? So we dealt with the principles. So obviously consistency is a principle with mentality.
responsibility,
responsible. These are all fruits, healthy fruits of having a good mentality. But ultimately, mentality, to achieve the right mentality, it's consistency. That's just across the board. That's the main principle that you need to adjust and create the proper mentality to operate in the world, specifically if you're dealing with culture and you're dealing with the next one, which would be relationships. So with relationships, relationships is the next one. So now when I think of relationships, I'm like, listen, I think they are the most crucial glue that connects culture and law. Like that's right in the middle. So I say that because one thing I always say, I can choose my friends, I can't choose my family. So if I'm going to be able to choose my friends, I'm going to choose the right ones. I'm 100% going to choose the right one. And I'll make the tough call if I feel like you're out of line. I'll call it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But relationships with friendships and who's that? My sister?
My wife. Yeah. You know I get happy when I see her.
Her sister-in-law. You know we love you. But relationships. So I'll give you this one, right? Me and my boy Fred, we always talk. Fred, like everybody who's in my wedding, those are like the people we about to go into business with. Those are my guys. You know what I mean? You guys are really my guy. And we talk about this all the time. How friends build a culture around each other, right? So if in our culture we built, oh, you the man because you got all these joints and you do right, you gonna be walking around like, yeah, I got her and her, right? Or you the man because you got whatever. I said, and this is the beauty of being able to pick your friends. There's nothing more beautiful than watching my friends evolve with me. Right? And looking at where we've come from mentally to where we are now as men is such it really makes you question why did we even have to go through those roadblocks? You know, I really think, and I get it. Like, you know, you're young, you're dumb, you think you know and you don't. But I can't always help but to think, if we had a proper, and that's not knocking none of the fathers, but if we had a male that really was, we were attracted to, not in that sense, but meaning that we could relate with, that could put you on the game, where it's like, hey, listen, I see what y'all doing, I like what y'all doing, but you're going down the wrong road. I'm gonna be honest, this is what's gonna happen. Not saying we would have listened, but there is a certain level of influence and respect that you have for someone that is successful or that you are close to. And I can't help to think that the relationships that we build, especially as adults, are going to be the influence that mold your culture amongst your friends. If that makes sense.
Like the culture. Like how you said the holy. I look at holy as set apart.
That's another description of it too.
You know, he's set apart from the norm of what culture in our society is. When we start to build this culture of building your mentality, not cheating, this is opposite from the culture that we live in. Being in the world, but not of it. You know? So the culture says, oh, it's okay to have sex before you get married. It's okay to live together before you get married. You got to make sure she's the right one. But let me ask you, like when people say that, I want to ask them, if your daughter came to you and said her boyfriend wants her to live with her first, to test her out.
Test her out.
To test your daughter out, to see if he should marry her. You'd be okay with it? You'd be like, yeah, go ahead, go see, go.
You know what, baby girl, you go do that.
Yeah,
you know
go do that.
Go do that. Live with him and let me know how it goes, because I'm gonna be right here for you after you fall in your face.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how can people get upset? Like, how can you get upset that we're saying, no, don't live with him before you get married. No, don't have sex with him before you get married. You're not a car.
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting test driven.
Mm-hmm.
And
this goes for male and female too.
Exactly.
Boys and girls. Go ahead though. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So, and even with that, I have a boy and a girl. People think, oh, you tell your boy something different from your girls. No, it's not. When my son come home like, yeah, I lost my virginity. Yeah, let's go, my boy. And then my daughter come, I lost my virginity. Why would you do that? No, I'm telling them the same thing. No, you need to save yourself for marriage. There's beauty in that when you hold yourself. It's not my boy, he could do whatever he want. My girl, she's staying home. She can't talk to nobody. I'm treating both of them the same. And that's what the culture does to us outside of our culture that we're building. And this is, in one nutshell, this is kingdom culture. But we're not just whatever the world says is okay, like sleep with your girl. You can listen to all the music you want. You can trap music and you'll be fine. You can just run wild. We're building our own separate, what you would call it, counterculture, where whatever they're doing, we're literally doing the opposite.
I love it. I really do. And I would say this too. When you speak on kingdom culture, you can't, this in a simple terms for everybody to digest it. Okay. The United States has laws.
Yeah.
Right? You have to follow the laws. If you don't follow the laws, you go to jail. You lose your citizenship. When you're in a kingdom culture, it's the same thing. Yep. You have citizenship. There are laws that you follow. It's just so happened that these laws that are in the kingdom, they don't apply to the world that we're watching. And when we say world, we're talking about the systems. The systems of the world is what is corrupt. But it's not just the system. It's the leaders in the system. Their mentalities and their agenda pushes something counter than what God in the kingdom culture would. Yeah. And see with that, and this is why we're so big on having such a small circle. It's not that we don't want to expand. We just want to make sure once we're attached to you and once we're connected, we need to know that you operate under a set of rules that are aligned with kingdom culture. And it's not to offend. It's not saying that you have to do it. We don't ever put a bullet to your head, but we're just showing you how we operate. And one thing that I love about culture, relationships, and law and how it forms your mentality is, more than anything, it gives you peace of mind.
Oh my goodness.
It gives you peace of mind. I see guys stressed out. I see women stressed out. And like we said, this is not just a guy thing. We're talking about consistently women and men. And I just always say it's very far and few that you will find. Honestly, anybody that I'm just going to say us two because we're on. But it's very far and few that you'll ever see me and you get upset. It's very, like, we might get a little whatever, but it's not. I mean, you can ask, if you don't believe it, ask our wives. It's very rare that we're upset. And the things that we're upset are not, they're not that serious. Yeah. They don't stress us. We don't get, we don't get stressed out, right? And I say this, this is why, you could agree, you can let me know. I don't get stressed out specifically because I keep myself aligned with God's laws. I don't go outside of his laws. So what happens is I always feel protected because my mentality aligns with his laws, which means that I'm adopting his philosophies, which means that I'm aligned with him. And as long as I'm aligned with him, I'm so comfortable in any environment. Yeah. So when we talk about the systems of the world, I want to correct myself. It's not the systems that are corrupt. The systems are fine. The education system, the medical field, all of these things are fine. It's the mentality of the leaders who are running the systems who have a counterculture, meaning counter to the kingdom, agenda. That's what we're talking about. So the reason why mentality is so crucial because it could either propel you to success or it could trumpet you to failure. Destroy you. And the reason why we're so hard on men in their culture is because, or their mentality is because when a man fails, generations fail.
Yes. Yes.
Kids got to pay for it.
Yep.
Women have to pay for it.
Yeah.
It's a totally different process. So if you really want to get technical, if you look at the book of Genesis, you have Adam and Eve. God never addressed Eve. He never went in on her. He went on that Adam.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you knew better than that. I told you, right?
Yeah.
So it's little things that we always keep in mind as we continue to progress through life and learn. And it's a consistent learning. It's not something, we're not saying that we got it all down packed. That's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
But what we're saying is our foundation is rooted in kingdom, in law, and it protects our minds. And ultimately, it allows people to trust us. It allows us to be good husbands. It allows you to be a banging friend like my homie. It allows me to trust you as a man. It allows us to do business together. And what you said about your kids, it was what we were talking about.
Yeah.
You're not, principle doesn't apply per, per male, female.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
Principle
per gender.
Per gender. There we go. It's not per gender. Principle is principle.
Yeah.
That's it. This is why in the Chinese culture, stealing, right? It's breaking the law. This is why in America, stealing is breaking the law. Europe, you can go across the board.
Yeah, stealing's the same everywhere.
It's the same. Here we go. Murder, same thing.
Yeah.
So when you're thinking about principle and you're thinking about laws, relationships, and culture, you have to align your mentality with your creator. Because if you don't, if you happen to think that you can go against that, I promise you, you will fail. And it's not a yo, I want you to fail type of thing.
Yeah.
It's just in law, there's automatic consequence, good and bad.
Yeah.
We can't imagine us saying like, oh, you know what? I'm tired of gravity. I'm about to jump off the building. Gravity has consequence. Okay. Gravity's gonna win. Gravity gonna go, oh, you want to jump off the building?
I'm about to jump off, man. I'm tired of gravity.
I'm tired of gravity. Oh, well, gravity's it's a internal, eternal law. So if you think that you can violate laws, right, and have the wrong mentality, because that's what my mind tells me, I'm tired of gravity. I'm jumping off the building. Gravity's gonna go, wonderful. First person to God or wherever you're gonna go. You know what I'm saying? You figure it out.
The same thing with cheating. If you cheat on your wife, man, I'm tired of my wife. I'm cheating on her. Well, there's consequences. 100%. There's divorce. there's child support. I can take everything from. So don't get mad because all I do is
alimony.
You cheated. Cool. There's consequences that come with that.
Yo, listen, we're not telling you not to do it. We just saying. I think this is a fair assessment, right? I don't ever try to say do something. You don't have to listen to me. I honestly don't care. Yeah. I don't really care. It doesn't affect me. Yeah. If you do what you want, by all means. Yeah. Do what you want. Yeah. But I would just encourage you to look into what are the consequences for your actions. Meaning, what is the consequence for the way you're thinking? What is the consequence for your mentality? What is the consequence for the friends that you have around? What is the consequence for the culture that you're building with your friends? All of these things. What is your consequence for breaking law? Look into those before you look at us and say, we're crazy. Just look into those. Just look in, and you can make your own decision on based off that if you're living right or if you're living wrong. It really has nothing to do with us because at the end of the day, whether people do it or not, we're going to do it. Yeah. And you'll slowly start to, what did you call holy? Separate yourself?
Set apart.
Set apart. You'll start to see us just set apart.
Yeah, we're holy. We set apart from the culture that's given to us.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and it's awesome that we're building a culture because the minute we get our culture right, that way it can spread. That's why we have to continue to do this. Me and you doing this will infect somebody. And all infection aren't bad. This will infect somebody in a good way to where whatever has been in them can now start to come out and something new can come in. The minute you take this and say, you know what? I see where they're going. They're not talking what I'm used to. let me continue. I guarantee our goal, I guarantee if you continue to follow with us and take this journey with us, you will not be the same. And you actually listen and take in what we're given, you will not be the same. Because this is not something we're constantly doing this. We're constantly growing. We're constantly trying to work on a mentality. And if you're watching somebody that's constantly doing that, subconsciously, you'll start doing that. If you always hear us talking about like, yo, stop cheating. You always hear us talking about like, yo, do the right thing to your girl. Be a good father. Be a good man. If you constantly hear that, you're just gonna might automatically start doing that. For example, the fact that I said I was about to get tired of my wife, but I looked at myself and thought about it. Somebody might use just, even if it's just one segment from this, they might be going through something and it might hit in their head like, let me look at myself real quick. If that just happens, man, that's beautiful. That's mission accomplished. And if you continue to do that, man, limitless.
We definitely, when we're taking a new format moving forward, we're really trying to be specific, because obviously we basically took the big scope and we're bringing it in tight now. So we want you guys to really understand how we are getting to these points in our mind with our mentality. So the reason why we're doing mentality to start is because that is the foundation of your development or your demise. That is just the truth of the nature. So keep in mind, to build a strong mentality, consistency in the right things. In simple terms, consistency in the right things. So whatever it is you're trying to get your mind to understand, you have to always keep in mind this. More so than anything, limit the distractions. Don't be entertained. Educate yourself. Split it up. Matter of fact, I would say this. Entertain yourself fine, but let it be so far and few where it's like 90% and then 10%.
Exactly. Like I said with the music, we can go to a party and listen to music and we be straight.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, I'm not gonna front. I love some of the music that's out. I love the beat. And like, what's that song? I know I'm late. I'm late because I'm not really good at that. Like music, but I would say that song, win. Yo.
That song is old.
All right, I shouldn't have said that out loud.
Old.
All right, well, that song, I was watching that show Black AF, that show on Netflix.
Oh, and
that's the theme song, and I love that show too. That show is pretty dope.
Oh yeah.
But when I heard that song, I'm like, yo, that song is tough. I looked it up. I thought it was new, but just forgive me. I just showed my true colors.
It's not new from what I feel like I heard that before.
I just heard it maybe last month, but I've been bumping it. I've been bumping it before I work out. You know, I just like to win.
Yeah, win.
But that's a mentality. But ultimately, on a serious note, your mentality is gonna become. It comes from consistent positive thoughts, and not only thinking them, doing it. So just try to align your actions with your mind, and your mind with your actions. But you have to keep in mind, we're not speaking on negative things. So if I think about cheating, I go cheat. No, that's not what we're saying. I would much rather you do this. Try this, fellas. Every time I think about another woman, go kiss your wife. Just go kiss her. Just go kiss her to remind yourself of what you have. And so that way you don't need to worry about that. Just little things like that help. You don't have to go to your wife like, yo, I've been thinking about cheating. Nah, but you know, like you said, self-reflection.
Yeah.
You know where you're struggling.
Exactly.
And substitute the negative and put some positive in there, and not just positive. Let it be based off of proper law. We're not, you know, if you guys, I would say this, we'll eventually get into more. We'll dig in a little deeper.
We're gonna dig.
You know what I mean? So right now, what we're just saying, for mentality purposes, to align your mentality with the right things. Keep positive things into your mind and do positive actions to match it. That'll be the first one that we start with.
We're not, when we keep going, we're not gonna rush past anything, any subject, any topic. We're literally just gonna keep picking off from this conversation onto the next one, because like I said, the more you hear it, the more it becomes embedded in you. So we don't think, oh, I can't wait for the next. we're going to continue and just keep going so that it becomes a habit, like it's stuck in you. So we're not just going to rush, all right, what's the next thing? No, we got to keep building this and growing so that it can become a habit. So if you hear the same thing over and over, that's good, because now it's going to become second nature to you. So don't stick with us. Trust me. You want to trust me.
Mentality is we just set the foundation for our series, and we
our
hope
series
that
mentality. We're just gonna keep going off that.
We really hope you guys enjoyed it. You got any final words, bro?
Hey, it's going to be ups and downs, but no matter what, keep God before anything. Period.
I love that. And listen, always strive for excellence. Always strive for perfection. So that way, if you fall short, you still excellent. You dig? But we'll see you guys next week. I appreciate y'all. And I hope everybody
subscribe, all that good stuff. Oh yeah, comment. Like, we want to hear from y'all. Like, we've had at least 100 people watch each video. Say something.
Say good.
Say something. Like, we want to hear. Like, if you have a question, or even if you don't agree with something, we'll talk about it and explain it to more in depth. Like, don't wait till we so-called blow up to be like, y'all been supporting since day one. Like, say something. Say something. It's okay. Like, if there's something that you struggle with, like, nah, that don't make sense. Let us explain it to you. Like, interact with us, man.
Yeah, y'all be damn. I be looking. I be like, oh, we got views, but dang, nobody commented.
Say something.
Shouts out to my cousin. She commented. I appreciate you.
Yeah, say something, man.
Even if you go, wow.
Yeah.
Or
say
thumbs
something.
up.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Question, comment. Say something.
Listen, man. We'll be back next week. Mentality is the subject. We definitely part 2. And I hope y'all enjoy y'all beautiful day. Later.
Onto the Jordan.